Okay, we've tackled some larger families, both larger in number of species and larger in their popularity and larger in their size. Now we're going to start talking about some smaller families that only have maybe 1 or 2 species and they're smaller fish. A lot of these are going to be fairly easy to identify once you know what to look for. A lot of them are very interesting, and so we're going to start here with the Mudminnows, family Umbridae. And we've only got 1 species to worry about. The reason we're talking about them now is because they're the closest relative to the Ichthyology. And so we just talked about the Ichthyology. Now we're going to talk about the Mudminnows. The 1 species we have is the central Mudminnow, Umbridae. These are very tolerant fish, and so they can tolerate poor water quality. They can tolerate a wide range of pHs and oxygens. So you kind of find these in wetlands like bogs and marshes where you tend to have lower pHs or lower oxygen levels, things like that. Problem is, as I mentioned earlier, we've lost a lot of wetlands. We've lost most of our wetlands. We've lost almost all of our wetlands. So we don't have a lot of bogs and marshes, so we don't have a lot of good habitat. We still can find these. We've got these around Murray. You can see here from your fishers of Tennessee, they're mostly in the western side of Tennessee, and so if you just extend that across the border up to where Murray is, we do have them around here. Cool looking fish. How are we going to identify this fish? The dorsal fin is set way back, and it's got a rounded tail, doesn't have a forked tail. And so we're going to talk about a couple of families here in a second, the live bearers and the top minnows. They also have this rounded tail, and they also have the dorsal fin set back, but the mouth is very different. There's a much bigger mouth on here. When you see this fish, it'll stand out. You'll be able to identify it, no problem. And that's all I got to say. I don't know much else about Mudminnows. Thanks.